Coming up on the show, yoga master and mother of four, Samantha Howick does a graceful balancing act. That's next on Our Montreal. Welcome back to Our Montreal. Well, our previous guest talked about her yoga goals for 2019. Our next guest will show us how it's done. Samantha Howick is a mother of four who splits her time between Montreal, Lebanon, and the yoga retreats she gives around the world. In 2018, Samantha was in Dubai, Kenya, London, and Oman. And in 2019, she'll be helping men to learn to reconnect with the practice. Samantha, welcome to Our Montreal.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're a mother of four, which in and of itself is no small feat. You also lead a very demanding life as an entrepreneur and a health practitioner. Now, the obvious question is, how do you stay sane through all of it?
I don't. I don't always stay sane, for sure. Yoga has obviously helped me tremendously to stay grounded because life moves so fast.
And
so
it's interesting you say we all lack time, because is it that we lack time or we're just not making the time?
I think the demands of society and of life nowadays prevent a lot of us from having time. I think that you really have to have tasted what it's like to have had the time before you dedicate yourself to creating time.
Like you have to remember what it was like to feel that sort of freedom, I guess you could say?
Yeah, and that sense of calm, inner peace. If it's just a word, we're not going to do any work to create that again. But once we've tasted it, we'll try our best to find time.
What are some of the things that you build into your daily life to sort of help you do that?
Definitely waking up before my children has always been an essential part of my sanity, whatever that is. I love to wake up before the sun. For me, it's very symbolic and precious to wake up when it's still dark, because I feel like I need time to get ready for the day ahead. You know, and having young kids that wake you up all night, you know, sometimes that's impossible. And I think being compassionate with yourself when that can't happen has also been really important.
Well, I think that we're also lacking that compassion, that if we, say we're going to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning or 4 a.m. every morning and we don't do it, we just give up because we feel like, well, I'm just not going to follow through on it, I guess.
I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's important to know that we're human, you know, and we change, just like the seasons, just like our lifestyles. So, you know, being gentle with yourself and understanding that you do it when you can do it. And if you can't, you'll try again.
What can you tell us about the science of yoga's power to manage stress?
Wow. It's, I think that the most obvious response for most people is our now understanding of the stress response. You know, it's, we know very clearly that the whole physiology of the body changes if we were going to be chased by a wild tiger. And nowadays we don't have the wild tiger, but we have deadlines, we have bosses, we have things at home, we have traffic jams. So to understand that we're basically in a chronic state of stress, you know, and the stress comes from our perception of reality, we have to balance that. We can't allow the body to be in a constant state of reacting to stress. It's very unhealthy.
So how does yoga help us manage that?
Well, the first thing that yoga can do that's extremely helpful, and the basis for all of the higher practices, is to learn to breathe, because breath is the interface between the outside world and the inside world. So, for example, if I get some terrible news, my breath will change into more rapid thoracic type breathing. Whereas if I sink down into a beautifully hot tub, I will immediately take a deep breath. So it's through that intelligence that you can get to create states which are more relaxing than others.
I think you've said in the past that your body can be its own pharmacy.
Not only I've said, but yes, the body is a natural pharmacy. It prescribes medications and it fulfills the prescription. So it knows exactly what it needs.
You were talking about breathing, and you actually have a technique to show us to bring us back to center. And this is actually something that we can do anywhere in the middle of the day. What can you show us? How do we do it?
It's very simple, and it's a basic yogic breath. And I won't show you, I will help you remember, because babies, when they're born, this is the natural way to breathe. But through the chronic stress exposure, we start to breathe in a different way, which keeps us in that stress reaction situation. So a nice way to start is, if you're standing, you can do it, or you can be sitting or lying down when you're falling asleep at night or waking up in the morning. And you take your hands and you place your hands on your tummy. Inhale through your nose, and you want to feel exactly your tummy expand as you inhale. And as you exhale, you can do it through your nose or through your mouth. You want to feel your hands move back in towards your spine. So you inhale through your nose, and you imagine your breath coming into your body, and your tummy bulges out because it's being filled. And as you exhale, your tummy shrinks back in towards the spine. And this is opposite. So normally when people take a deep breath in, they do the opposite. So it takes a while to get the hang of, and it's a lot easier to do when you're lying on your back. But you just inhale through your nose, and you expand your tummy, and you exhale, and your tummy empties.
Pushing it out.
Good, and you want to feel, so as you inhale, so you want to do the opposite. It does take a while to get the hang of.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, so you inhale and your tummy goes out, and you exhale and your tummy empties.
All right, I see what you mean now.
And you just do it, you can take 10 breaths, even if you're sitting in the car.
And that will just recenter you.
You will notice immediately.
I may try that when I'm stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Samantha, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Have a great 2019.
Thank you.
That's it for our Montreal. We're always looking for interesting stories, so if you're making a major change in your life for 2019, we want to hear from you. Get in touch through Twitter or email. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us at CBC Montreal, Happy New Year. We'll leave you with this defining Montreal moment from the year that was. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
And liftoff. We have liftoff of Anne McLean to Vite St. Jacques and Oleg Kononenko blasting through the Kazakh sky to the International Space Station.